Hello and welcome to an AP Art History introduction. This is Miss Winter's class, 7th period, and we will be interviewing the Riace Bronze Warriors. My name is Pranay Lalbai, and
This is Anand Chipurwal.
alright, well, he's going to be talking a little bit about the history of the Riace Bronze Warriors.
The Riace Bronze Warriors are two statues found off the coast of Riace in 1972. They're from the high classical period of Greek art.
And now we'll just move on into the videos explaining these different attributes with the different Riace warriors. How does this unique transgression from a state of stillness to simple gestures transform the very nature of the art of classicism?
My body is sculptured to seem as naturalistic as possible. My muscles are flexed as to seem about it, almost in motion. My legs are bent and unaligned as if to seem natural.
It's a very interesting viewpoint as it shows the transgression from archaic into the nature of classicism as you described.
From a contemporary standpoint, if a very being was crafted into a figure of artistic beauty, how would that change the perception versus if he were alive?
If I were alive, I think the perception would be totally different due to the fact that the Athenian period of time was highly philosophical and very sophisticated time period in which there was a governmental structure that consisted of a natural talent in many of the arts and culture of that time period. Due to the shielding counterparts, sword counterparts not being there, it shows the transgression from the archaic into the more classical period of time, due to the fact that many of the art styles in the archaic period were very rich. If the shield and sword counterparts were to be removed from thyself, how would that affect the viewers and how would that affect our interpretation of it as well?
My body is sculptured to seem as naturalistic as possible. My muscles are flexed as to seem about it, almost in motion. My legs are bent and unaligned as if to seem natural.
It's a very interesting viewpoint as it shows the transgression from archaic into the nature of classicism as we described.
What idea was the artist trying to capture in creating you?
First to note is the calm expression on my face. It sort of conveys the aptitude for the high scholars they had during that time period. Uniquely blends the sort of sophistication with the power and prejudice and the value associated with the Riace warriors during that time period. Because of the conflict with the Persian Empire as well as the Spartan earlier on, it kind of shows that we have a sense of balance and power and unity within the Greek and Hellenistic culture, which is transformed, which my sculpture is eventually transformed into the very nature of the Hellenistic in-movement picture and the paintings associated with that sort of artistic beauty. Derived from what elements did the sculptor originally craft you, and how were they used in the context of the statue?
Due to my being made in high classical period of Greek art, my sculpture wished to make me as naturalistic and real as possible, with little embellishment. He wished to show the human form in its highest.
And this kind of shows the nature of how they started to idealize in the Hellenistic periods, and then in some of the later periods of art. And because of this,
What purpose did he serve when you were created?
the strength as well as the wealth and power of the Athenian Empire, as they were a very prosperous nation in that time period, not separated, always in balance with the community, much like the New England colonies in America. And as a result, due to the very nature of the high classical period, I was sort of transformed into this more idealized figure within the Hellenistic period, in which I was idealized more as a god versus the human that I am. and sort of the purpose of just me being in that battlefield, the Riace warriors, the shield and sword counterparts being removed, that interpretation kind of led people to assume that I was holding these counterparts because of the experiences they had with other contemporary artists. And where was this sculpture originally crafted, and where was it being transported to before it was found?
The sculpture was originally created in Athens. It was lost in shipwreck while being transported to Rome during Rome's sacrifice.
Yes, and as we noted back in our different time periods, the Persian and the Athenian culture fought a lot, as well as a little influence on the Spartan culture, which were very bold, while the Athenians were scholars. So it makes sense that someone of this style of art would create this kind of sculpture. Hopefully you've made it to this, and if you have, congratulations for not falling asleep during the remainder of the session. As we described earlier on, the Riace warriors were very mysterious, and so we couldn't describe them in as much detail, though we did get a few sources talking about their nature, and they even made a cafe out of them, which we researched as well. They have other sculptures there as well, but we kind of note, their nudeness, how it transformed the archaic to classical time period, and how it changed from a sort of rigid structure to a more idealized, more humanely type. And so yeah, that's all I'd like to talk about. Just to conclude the statement, is saying the Riace warriors were really important, and they serve a big purpose. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.